Hey guys, just before the video starts, a quick reminder that due to the changes to the YouTube partnership program, your subscriptions are going to be even more important than before. So if you appreciate or like the content, please subscribe to the channel. The faster we hit the 1,000 subscribers, the faster I'll be able to deliver continuous content to you guys. So now, let's move on to the video. Hey everyone, welcome back to Maple Syrup Tech. I'm Rick, and today we're going to take a look at some Rgb Ram. Now, I know a lot of channels out there have been focusing on the high-end stuff coming from Corsair and G.Skill. I thought we'd take a look at one of the more budget brands. Now, I know budget brands is a funny concept right now in RAM pricing just because prices are so darn high and crazy. But nonetheless, there are a couple of manufacturers, TEAMGROUP is one of them, that do sell their products slightly lower than the other ones, even though the pricing is still considered high. Now, I actually managed to pick up a 16 gigabyte kit of the T-Force Delta Rgb Ram for only $200 Canadian, only being a relative concept, because normally in an ideal world we would probably be picking up an RGB kit like this for more around 125 to 150. But in American dollars, that would mean I managed to pick up this kit for closer to $160, which is actually not too bad right now considering the current pricing. So this is a 2400 megahertz kit, and the timings are 15, 17, 17, 17, 35, making the kit not considered very high speed, but the timings are pretty tight. And if you have experience with Ryzen, you can go one of two routes. Either go for really high speed RAM, loosen up the timings, but another route is you can go for slightly slower RAM but put really tight timings. You're not going to get as good results as if you're going for like a kit of 3200 and higher, but you're going to get pretty darn close at a lower price. So if you guys want a trick out there, that's one that I consider, I would consider, is rather than going from a high speed kit at a higher price, aim for a lower speed kit but with tighter timings and try to tighten them up as tight as possible, and you'll probably be able to get some pretty darn good performance. Now today the review is actually going to be isn't going to be centered around performance, simply because RAM is RAM. I mean, what I can confirm, however, is that this kit on both my Ryzen systems, my Ryzen 3 1200 and my Ryzen 7 1700, was able to hit the XMP profile perfectly with absolutely no problems, and I could even tighten the timings down from CL15 to CL13 on both motherboards. One is a B350, one is an X370. So whether you're going high-end motherboard, low-end motherboard, I was able to tighten the timings down to CL13, which is good news because it actually did give a little boost in performance. But what we're going to specifically look today is to see what are the RGB options we have with this kit, and are we really getting a lot less than if we're investing in, like I said, one of the kits coming from Corsair or from G.Skill. You should see right now on the screen a couple of examples of the different lighting methods offered from the basic package. It's important to note that this kit is compatible with Asus, MSI, and Gigabyte for their in-home lighting methods. So whether it be Mystic Lights, whether it be Asus Aura, or whether it be, I think it's Mystic Fusion or something like that for the last manufacturer, this kit is going to be, you're going to be able to control it from the same hub and therefore sync up all your lighting. Unfortunately, I tested mine with two ASRock boards, and ASRock, unfortunately, at the moment, their in-home software does not permit you to control or sync up basically RAM modules. So you have to use the in-home TEAMGROUP software. And that's what we're going to be looking at today. We're going to be looking at the options that come with the in-home modules, because if you have Mystic Lighting, if you have Asus Aura Sync, you guys already know those products, you already know how they work. You don't really need me to explain to you once again how they sync up with the rest of your board. If you're already using these products, you're going to slap this kit in, you're going to set your lighting on them, and it's going to sync up perfectly. You don't have to worry about it. However, if you're with ASRock and you're using the in-home software, we're going to take a look at what it looks like. And also if you have a board that isn't RGB compatible, because I even have an MSI board, a Gigabyte board that is not RGB compatible on Ryzen, and we're going to look at what you can expect from the in-home software. So for the rest of the review, we're going to be going to a screen capture of basically the different settings and the different ways of putting in those settings to the system. And at the same time, basically I'll be showing the lighting methods off of the test bench in the upper left corner. So I'll see you guys in the screen capture. So we're just going to do a quick overview of the different options we have so that you can see that even the in-house program is actually more than I expected. Since these are sort of more on the budget end, I was expecting like maybe 2-3 options with very few personalizations possible, but the program is actually pretty decent. Maybe not as good as I would say Asus AuraSync, but pretty decent. So even the static option here, which is the first one, allows you to control 5 different sections of your RAM module. So basically going from the bottom to the top of the RAM module, if you change them one by one, you'll be changing 1/5 of the lighting bar on each module. And as you can see here, you have DRAM 1, so everything that has a 1 in the beginning of it controls the first module. And if we go here, starting here, DRAM 2, it starts controlling the second module. So it's really interesting to be able to personalize not only the static color of each module, but you could actually individually create your own, multicolored effect on each module. If you want, you can just take one color and copy it to the whole module down here with this option here. So you switch the first one, let's say to purple, hit this here, and it'll put purple all over both modules, just so that you can make sure that you're copying the exact same color through all quadrants. The breathing effect, you should be seeing anyway a loop of the video of the different effects. It's pretty self-explanatory. Everyone knows what a breathing effect does nowadays. You can once again personalize each section individually, so you can have a breathing effect with a multicolored spectrum on your DRAM modules. Color cycle will basically go through the color cycles, but the color will be uniform all throughout the DRAM module. The rainbow is the default one that comes with the RAM set, meaning that you'll have a gradually changing sort of rainbow effect going through the DRAM modules. You can you can also control the speed at which it changes, so that is something that is fun because you can sort of sync it up with the rest of your lighting effects. You have the Comet Effect, which is basically which you should see on the screen in the looping video. Once again, you can actually set up the Comet Effect with each individual section. You have Flash and Dash, and the rest of them I'll let you guys just look through the color cycle. It's not really worth going through each and every one of them, but it just gives you an idea that there's actually some really nice effects that you can get off with these DRAM modules, even if you don't have a necessarily RGB compatible board or with the in-house program, making it really interesting for anyone wanting to add a little bit of flair to their setup. So after looking at this, I think this pretty much goes around, like I said, DRAM modules. This isn't really a review, but more of an overview so that you can get an idea if these DRAM modules are going to be offering what you need out of them. I personally was very happy with my buy. For the price right now, it's one of the best kits you can get price quality wise. If you're willing to invest more, of course, you might have even more lighting effects out of the Corsair and the higher end brands. But right now I was pretty happy with my T-Force modules, and honestly it was even better than I was expecting. I was expecting much more basic options than this. So I hope you guys liked the video as usual. Please like and subscribe. It really helps the channel a lot. As I said, the faster we can hit 1,000 subscribers, the faster we'll be able to get more and constant content out, because everyone knows with the changes to YouTube right now, once the monetization will get back there, I'll be able to invest a lot more in projects. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video.